Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. Today is the match preview for the Springboks taking on the Wallabies in Perth. Second game between these two in the Rugby Championship. Boy, oh boy, am I excited. I had a couple of controversial opinions in the previous video where I spoke about the team announcement from the Springboks. Got some backlash, obviously, but also got a couple of people that agreed with me. And the thing that I take away from it is that I absolutely love that there's different opinions in the comment section. I love engaging in the comment section. It is joy to see people just speaking their mind, talking rugby as a pure fan, whether you are from South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, or Argentina. That's kind of what this whole channel is based around. Just like fans coming together, even fighting in the comment section. Just go ahead, talk about it, whatever. Right? In this video, we're going to break down the two teams, see where each team can get their advantages and disadvantages in the game, and then obviously look at a bit of the history once again between the two teams. And then, as always, as I am a bit of a gambling man, I do have a link in my bio that you can click, or you can download the app called BETWAY. If you click the link, it takes you straight to it. Use code CASUAL and sign up, see what the offers are for you. Obviously, I don't endorse it, but I do it. And if you're a man or a woman that does it yourself, there you go. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll talk about the South African lineup once again. Firstly, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Johan Grobler, Thomas de Toy. I'm not going to talk about my opinions on the squad as a whole. You can watch the previous video about that. Let's just take it as the talented individuals by itself. Absolutely brilliant. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, in my opinion, kind of a controversial call having him in the squad in the first place, because he hasn't played too much for the Bulls. He's played his one game now for the Springboks against Portugal. He had an absolute brilliant game. What a talented guy. Russi's spotted him a long way out, giving him his opportunity, and I think he'll flourish under this. We saw the scrum dominance that we had last weekend, and hopefully we can have it this weekend again. We know how good he is at scrum time, so a big match for him in terms of that. The same with Johan Grobler, who's also going to be the jackler on the field, the fetcher for the Springboks. And I said at the previous match preview between these two teams, the only thing that I kind of am a bit scared about is the fact that we don't have outstanding fetchers in the starting lineup, and we made the change. We got Johan Grobler. Jan-Hendrik Wessels is decent over the ball as well, to be fair. And he offers us that. He was brilliant against Portugal once again. He was a standout hooker in the URC, probably the best hooker in the URC. And then obviously Thomas du Toit, masterclass in the Premiership, scoring 11 tries as a prop in the Premiership, unheard of. Brilliant at the scrum. He's been there for a while. He's actually the one with the most experience in the forward pack, which is absolutely crazy. Anyway, moving on to the locks, we have Salman Murat and Ruan Orkia. Big games for both of them. Salman Murat, you can see it in some of the comment sections and the people calling for him to finally step up. I've always been a fan of Salman in terms of when he was a younger guy. He was at school when I was at school. And you just heard his name floating around absolutely everywhere. And it just kind of feels like he hasn't taken that form into the URC or the Test arena or international arena just yet. And it's time for him to step up. Obviously, Russia has identified him as a possible future captain for the Springboks. And we kind of want him to fill the boots of Etzebeth when the day finally comes and we all cry and Etzebeth decides to step down as the most Test South African rugby player ever. So we want a massive game for Salman Murat. He's a massive guy. He has to use that physicality. We know he does offer something. We just haven't really seen it just yet. But I'm sure at some point he's going to find his feet and it's going to show his true colours, how good he can be. Because we know how good he can be. It's the same kind of situation that I see with Andre Pollard. Like, I would do anything to have that under 20s, under 21, 22, Andre Pollard back that attacked the gain line, that wasn't afraid to bump off people, try the dink over the top or anything like that, that had so much attacking threat. And Salman Murat offers you the same thing. Just kind of want him to get out of this, I wouldn't say comfort zone, just like step out and go in and smash people. Because if you look at his build, that is exactly what he's there to do. Obviously, Ruan Orkia there, absolute workhorse, does the dirty work. I say that a bunch of times. The proper Franco Mostert replacement, like for like, in terms of that. If you listen to Safas Unscripted, you know Brevan raves about this guy the whole time. He loves Ruan Orkia. And fair enough, he deserves his call up as well, so very happy for him. And then with the Lucies, Marco van Staden, Pieter Stef du Toit, and Elrich Louw. Marco van Staden as well, a jackler. When we go for the 5-3 split, he has to start. I've said it before, Captain Siya Kolisi, obviously brilliant player, but in terms of who can offer you the most over 80 minutes on the field, I just think Marco van Staden brings you a bit more. Obviously, he's a great fetcher. He carries the ball hard. So well done to him, getting that start in the 6th jersey. Obviously, Pieter Steef to tackle. Nothing really to add to him. The name speaks for itself. Brilliant game last weekend at lock, and now we're expecting a brilliant game at the flanker position as well. Ulrich Low, good game against the Wallabies last weekend, has to step up once again, really has to put his name up to say, listen, I want to fight for that number 8 jersey, especially with Evan Roos out for the rest of the season. Maybe I can get my foot in the door and take that number 8 jersey and make it mine, because obviously Kwagga Smith, we saw he's just so much better coming from the bench, but now the battle is between Ulrich Low and Jasper Wiese to come on. Ulrich Low wants to put his hand up, say, listen, I'm taking that 8 jersey. Jasper, you can sit out for a few more games. That is kind of the idea with it. Moving on to the back line, and this is obviously where it gets exciting. Morne van den Berg, brilliant player. He had a brilliant season for the Lions as well. Obviously, he competed with Sanelo Noamba, who moved to the 10 position, and they complemented each other very well. He had an outstanding season, deserves his call up to the Springbok team. Yeah, I love to see him there. I want to see him flourish with Sasha in that 10 jersey. Obviously, as we move on to Sasha, what a player. Outstanding player. I think he had I wouldn't say average game, but maybe just bit above average after the first 20 minutes. But in that first 20 minutes, you just saw the class and the talent that he oozed. He's just a guy that oozes confidence when he gets the ball. He embraces the big moments. So that's what we want to see once again. Really taking the game by the scruff of the neck and kind of doing what he wants to. Centre combination, Lukhanyo Jesse Creel. Can you have an issue with it? Probably not. We want to see Lukhanyo in that team, but then you're like, can you drop Jesse Creel for Lukhanyo at the moment? Also, no. But now you got the two playing together, and we know Lukhanyo has said, he's come out in the press conference, said, listen, I want to flourish in that 12th jersey. I want to embrace this opportunity. I want to show how I can diversify my game or slot into really any position. We saw him play against Portugal. It felt like he played inside centre, outside centre, and wing at some points. Very talented. His IQ for the game is absolutely brilliant. He maybe doesn't offer you as much physicality as Damian de Linde. He's not going to get that ball at first receiver and bash it up to get us that front foot ball. But he offers you so much other things all around the field in terms of creativity, which is absolutely brilliant. So we want to see how that works. Mapimpi, experience. I mean, I think he's got like an average of 74%, which is the highest scoring percentage of any South African ever. Literally scoring 7.5 tries per 10 games that he plays. That is ridiculous conversion rate. Obviously on the outside, on the right wing, Cheslin Colby, nothing more to add. And then in that 15 jersey, a lot of people have been calling for Apelile Fassi. In the past, he's played for us, not really performed, but he's really taken his game to the next step. Deserves this 15 jersey. I would have still liked to have seen Willie Leroux, but obviously we know we have to play against the All Blacks. You don't want to risk it with Damian Willemse not there. And I actually think that this game with the space that Apelile Fassi could have, he could flourish in this game. Like I do not mind seeing Fassi in that 15 jersey at all. Obviously combining with the likes of the experience, Mapimpi and Colby will do him the world of favours as well. So yeah, and he offers you that serious attacking threat with open play. Moving on to the replacements, Malcolm Marx, Oxenchef, Vincent Koch. I'm not even going to say anything. That's the proper bomb squad. Eben Etzebeth as the experience coming on. I wonder what we are going to do. Do we see Eben Etzebeth coming on for Salman Murat and then Kwagga Smith coming on for Ruan Orkia, which means Pieter Steef moves to lock again and Kwagga Smith just slots into a Lucy position? Do we just see a straight change for Eben Etzebeth coming on for Salman Murat and then Kwagga Smith going on for Ulrich Low? That is a good discussion. I want to know what you guys think. Do we think Rassie goes a bit crazy with it, or do we think it's pretty straightforward what happens over there? Obviously on the backs, Grant Williams, and then the talking point, Mani Lebok and Andre Pollard, the two fly-offs on the bench. I think it's pretty obvious that we'll see Mani Lebok going into that 10 jersey and Andre Pollard going into that inside centre position. The discussion is kind of just like, does Sasha move to 15, or do we just stick with Fassi at fullback? Obviously, it is an exciting team. I had my opinions, but I never said that this is not an exciting team. Moving on to the Wallabies team. A couple of changes. a couple of changes. I'm not going to act like I all of a sudden know all these Wallabies players. I said it last weekend. I don't know all of them. But obviously Angus Bell comes in, Josh Nessa and Alan Alatua. I said it last week. I'll say it again. They will have their work cut out for them at scrum time, at the breakdowns. They need to be physical. They need to kind of set them up as a physical threat. They need to give South Africa something else to think about, right? And obviously, with all these changes in the South African team, surely Australia will I wouldn't say they'd find it disrespectful what South Africa has done, but I think they would kind of want to go into that mindset of like, we will not be disrespected like this, if you get what I mean. So yeah, they have to put up a physical threat, or at least try and contain the South Africans. In that 4 jersey, Angus Blythe, I'm not too sure, and then Salakai Lotu in that 5 jersey. Number 6, Rob Valentini, absolute wild player. He's just a wild dog on the field. I absolutely love the way that he plays. Scintillating player. I do rate him very highly. It's just one of those guys that you see, he gets the ball and he just like, there's no stopping this guy. He's just going to either run through you, or you better just try not to die. That's just the kind of way that he plays, and I absolutely love that. He brings the physicality, brilliant. Colo Tizano, obviously, I think he started in that 8 jersey last weekend. He had a good impact. And then to round it off, Harry Wilson. I'm not going to act like I know who that is. I'm not too sure. Anyway, but moving into the backline, and obviously the talking point, Nick White makes his return in that 9 jersey. So no Carter, I almost said Carter Gordon. What's the guy's name again? I completely forgot. He had a good game. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's injured. But Nick White comes on. We know what Nick White did with the tap around the face with Faf de Klerk. But a big game for him. He needs to get quick ruck ball to Noah Lolosio, get our rush defense, catch them off guard, so that Noah can just completely take the game by the scruff of the neck, as I just said with Sasha. But he needs to give him some time to create something out of nothing. I kind of want to say showcase his creativity. So Noah Lolosio needs to get clean ball for him to go and create, because this backline is exciting. I mean, Hunter Paisami, the guy that scored the try last weekend with Len Ikitau, that is an exciting centre pairing. And if you can get Noah Lolosio to really be creative and put those guys through gaps to create something, it's scary. I truly believe this Wallabies attack is scary. And they've got to find a way to break this rush defense and get some clean ruck ball. And then they could really cause some damage. Obviously, Marika Korabeti going up against Mapimpi once again. Not really up against each other because they're on the other side of the field. But we know what happened. It's happened twice. It's the final in this saga. massive game for him. Obviously coming back from retirement. There's no Dalgunu, who's obviously gone off injured. Andrew Kellaway in that 14 jersey with Tom Wright in the 15 jersey. Those two need to step up. They didn't have their best game last weekend, but they are vital members in terms of the Australians really causing a threat, especially on attack. So exciting team for Australia. I wonder what their approach will be in this game. Do they say, listen, we have to take that approach that we had in the second half and really keep the ball in hand, even though we do get tackled back, just keep the ball in hand instead of just kicking to the backs, because we know how dangerous those back threes, the back three is of South Africa. That would be interesting. Moving on to the guys on the bench, you've got Billy Pollard, James Slipper, obviously experience, and can I say experience. Zane Nongo, same as the starters. Work cut out for them. They have to be a physical threat. They have to stand their man when it comes to scrum time. Tom Hooper on the bench, Seru Uru to make his debut. I'm not too sure around Seru Uru. I've never heard of him. Let me know what you think about him. Tate McDermott, I'm still fixed on this guy has to start. Like him and Lolosio could be a brilliant combination. I don't understand why he doesn't start, to be fair. Obviously, Joe Schmidt would know a bit better than me, to be fair. Ben Donaldson on the bench. I was surprised not to see him last weekend. He just brings a bit of calmness onto the pitch. Deadly in front of goal, as far as I know. So, yeah, and then Max Jorgensen, well done to him for making his debut. As I said, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know all of these Wallabies boys. I am excited to see the way that they come out. I was a bit more impressed with their second half than their first half, obviously. Just want to see how they carry that into this next game in Perth. Obviously, they will feel hurt about last weekend, but I also think there's a couple of positives in terms of taking that, like keeping the box to only 33 points when it should have been 50. Like, I know that sounds a bit crazy, but that is an accomplishment in itself. Anyway, some of the history between the two teams. Obviously, South Africa has won the previous one, but also the two before that. So South Africa is finding themselves on a 3-game winning streak, of which, if South Africa wins this, they've won 3 out of the last 4 in Australia, and obviously we won one in Loftus-Versfeld, which would be a massive accomplishment for us. It would finally say, okay, listen, that it feels like this hoodoo has been broken about us over Australia, in Australia. So massive game for South Africa, but obviously this is a big game for Australia in terms of getting some pride back. Like to pull one over the world champions when everyone kind of is writing you off, knowing you're struggling. That is a massive accomplishment. And talking about people writing you off, I'm looking at the betting odds. Obviously, I just mentioned at the start of the video, there is a link in my bio, or you can download the app, BETWAY, use code CASUAL as your reference, and just sign up if you want to put your money where your mouth is, to be fair. Massive underdogs, Australia. Even worse than last weekend, and I can't believe it. I seriously cannot believe they are this big underdogs with all the changes that South Africa made. 10 changes, and still you've got a 6-1 odds. So if you want to put money on Australia to pull one back, $100 gets you $600 back, which is absolutely crazy. South Africa, heavy favourites. If you put $100 on, you get 117 back. Obviously, there's a good odds over here when you look at the under 48.5 and over 48.5, 1.85 times your money back. I do believe this game has got high scoring potential. If you look at some of the South African players, you do question some of their defence. And the same with Australia. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think over 55 points even. I do like the odds of just over 52.5, 2.3 times your money back, which is absolutely crazy. That is probably what I would be going for. But obviously, if you want to be a bit safer, maybe even just go for 46.5, 1.68 times your money back, which is absolutely crazy. The official prediction for this game, I'm going with the Springboks to win this game, still quite comfortably, but I do believe Australia put some points on the board. I'm going with South Africa to win this game by 16 points, a bit more than last weekend, but I do still believe it could be comfortable in terms of us scoring a lot of points. I just think this is one of those games where the one team just scores a ton more than the other team. No real defence in the game. But yeah, obviously I'm saying that, and I know South Africa's defence is really good. So I don't even know. But I'm going with South Africa to win this game by 16 points. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. I do love and appreciate you. Do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time. Thank you.